Now there's something interesting about where we are. 3 census tracts come together here. And those 3 census tracts are called persistent poverty communities. And they are defined by the Census Bureau. And that definition is this: any community where 20% or more of the population has been stuck beneath the poverty level for 30 years is considered a persistent poverty community. Think about it. Here in Orangeburg, where we have a county with 6 United States highways coming through this county. 2 Class A railroads coming through this county. 3 institutions of higher education in this county, all within walking distance of where we're standing. And these 3 census tracts are defined by the Census Bureau as persistent poverty. You go figure. The infrastructure to do what needs to be done is here. We have not developed it. And we're here today.
This community is special would not adequately state the case. It would be better to say this is hallowed ground. And it was hallowed, of course, in part by the blood that was shed in the Orangeburg massacre, which had to do in part with the insistence that there be a better connection, a better relationship between the lives of those who were on campus and the opportunity downtown. Something as simple as a recreational opportunity to go bowling, and something as profound and connected to that as the opportunities, the economic opportunities and the life opportunities that come with full integration and participation and equality. A struggle which, of course, in some ways goes on to this day. But it's the kind of struggle I reflect on a lot as I think about how the social connection and movement, mobility that was at stake in the civil rights movement is often related to the very physical, concrete movement that we deal with in transportation. Transportation is about movement. Transportation is about connection. But even though by definition transportation is about connection, we often see how assets having to do with transportation serve to divide. And we see a very stark example of that right at the site of this project, where thoroughfares and a railway divide a campus community from the opportunities that are on the other side of the tracks. It means something that we even have that phrase in our American English language, the other side of the tracks. It tells you a thing or two about the relationship between how transportation can either connect or divide. And that's why we're so glad to be here. Because right now we have an opportunity to take on board what we have learned from the past, to recognize the relationship between the past, the present, and the future, and to ensure that this time, unlike with some of the decisions that were made in the past, transportation dollars, federal taxpayer transportation dollars, will be used to connect rather than to divide, to enhance rather than to diminish, to include rather than exclude. That is why we are so proud to award Orangeburg $22.7 million to cover the